now you have with Turner, you have the firefighters not endorsing him, the longshoremen not endorsing him, the teachers union, and the FL-CIO. I'm told that the Teamsters and some other labor groups are endorsing them, but four big ones, and the largest one, the teachers union, is not. They've all are rather upset.
Has the teachers union endorsed anyone else, or are they still holding out at this point?
I don't believe they've endorsed anybody else.
I thought the teachers union endorsed Bill King.
I don't believe they did. No, Gail Phelan. In fact, that's another thing that's interesting to talk about. Bill King got in a little heat this week for listing people that allegedly endorsed him. See, I said allegedly, when in fact they did not. And a lot of people were upset about that, especially the Democrat Party, because some of these people were Democrat precinct chairs and Democrat activists. And to be fair, that's stuff that happens all the time in politics. I mean, people either change their minds or there's a miscommunication. It might seem deceptive, but I don't think it's that deceptive. I think there's other bigger fish to fry, really, other bigger issues. I know Busby has been doing a lot of stuff this week, and I know his campaign's been going strong. And I know Tony has been I know he was at the Kingwood, one of the Kingwood events, and they were telling me that Bill King, he was upset. He dropped his microphone. I don't know, but it looks like that there's at least how they've been acting. I know I saw on Facebook that someone was posting stuff about Busby yesterday, and lo and behold, TB, he answered himself. He said they were saying you did this shady pay-to-play stuff. He's like, no, I didn't. You have a problem. You don't have. There's no evidence because I didn't do it.
Wait. Tony Busby, the multi-millionaire candidate for city mayor, responded to a random Facebook poster.
He did.
So is Bill King using other people's accounts? What's going on there? Now I don't think. I don't think for one second that was Bill King who sent that out, but it probably was one of his zealous supporters, as people in this room like to use. Overzealous. But I will say this, man. I've said this before in the past about Tony. Tony reminds me of myself in that manner, man. We just can't help ourselves. When people talk about us, we like to respond personally.
Why is that?
Because there's something about having a backbone and not having to use other people as shields and say, hey, you got a problem, tell it to me. And I'll say it right back.
It brings you down to that person's level.
You know what? People used to say that all the time. Don't stoop down to that level. What does that even mean? Stoop down to what?
That means you don't have a random conversation with a troller on Facebook.
It's not trolls. There aren't. That's the thing. These aren't trolls. They're actually targeted and they're not random. They're targeted people who are doing it on purpose for a reason. And let's participate with it.
No, you can't be. Man. You can't go back and forth with everyone who decides they don't.
If the commander in chief can do it, anybody else can do it.
It's a big city. 2.3 million. How many people we're at now?
Too many.
Too many. Whoa.
Almost 4 million. We're close to 4. If you
actually, I mean, dude, how did Chicago get back in front of us? I thought we took the lead from Chicago, and all of a sudden they popped back in front.
We never had the lead.
Yes,
officially.
we did. We keep going 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4.
We're waiting on the census to come out.
We don't wait for the census, man. What's Texas? Come on, man. We don't wait for nobody.
What? Tony Busby Jr. over there? So my point is, it's a big city. People have the right to express themselves on their own Facebook or social media pages.
Whose page was it on? I don't think it even was on his page. I think it was on some group page.
No, it was an individual
the guy
person.
Tagged him, I think. Did he?
The guy didn't tag.
For
Bill
Tony
King.
to pop in, he had to have been tagged or was on some public page or something.
I think the person.
First of all, let's get this kind of this conception that Facebook and your own page on Facebook is all only your. No, it's Facebook's.
It's Facebook's page.
It's Facebook's page. You are an authorized user on their page. They have given you a password and a username to participate in their public forum.
So
as many filters and privacy settings as you want, yes, it's fine, but it is not your page. It does not belong to you. You have no proprietary rights to anything that is on Facebook or Instagram or Snap or whatever else it is.
Oh, Kathleen Wall looks like she's running for. She's running for House again.
How is that possible?
What do you mean?
She ran for a different district last year.
It's Congress. You don't have to live in that congressional district.
Yes, you
You just have to be
You actually
resident
don't.
state of Texas.
You can run for any district in Congress.
But how are you going to tell voters that you want to represent this district this year, the next year, hey, I got a passion for this district the next year?
It's that would be if this was like a witness thing on a stand, you'd say it goes to witness credibility, right? So same thing goes to candidate credibility. So if you've run around for CD2, but then you run for CD7 or CD22, it goes to candidate credibility. But I will say this, there are some people in the community, in the county, in the state who have advocated for issues across multiple areas and have related people across multiple districts and who have engaged with people across multiple districts and funded projects for their.
She's got a big problem.
Kathleen Wall has actually funded a lot of projects across the state.
She has a big problem.
So,
she was able to raise what, $2-3 million last time?
She's self-funded.
Yeah,
she's self-funded.
She's self-funded.
She spent $10 million in her last race.
I thought she raised that money because she was a big time insider.
Raised it from herself. So she wrote a check for about
self-funded
about $10 million, and I imagine she want to do the same thing. She just appears to really want to be a state rep, a House, U.S.
But I do have it on good authority.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on good authority that this will be a different campaign than last time.
You mean she's not going to hire Jessica Cologne
or Axiom?
I can't confirm or deny on that.
What's going to be different then?
But there will be a lot more confidence in her presentation.
She was confident before. She's walking around with a construction hard hat on.
She'll be more confident in live debates. She'll be more confident in speaking from the heart instead of what advisors have told her to say. This is what I'm hearing, and this is pretty good sources. So.
Eric, you didn't support her last time.
And I'm not sure what I'm going to do this time.
You went with the state rep guy.
Well, I listened, and I listened to everybody, and I made
Kevin Roberts.
I made decisions based on what I thought was the right thing at the time.
Maybe Kevin Roberts is going to jump in this race too.
Maybe
he
so.
Might. You never know. Oh, but if you are in that race, in the CD22 race, and there's going to be a lot of y'all. There's going to be only so many campaign management teams, consulting teams,
probably
data teams
get in real early
that can go around. And so I got the plug on a lot of great consultants.
Chris Carmona consultant?
No, but I got the plug on them for some nationwide consulting firms that actually are very successful in getting people elected in those type of open seats. Holla at your boy.
Chris, aren't you a nationwide
yep.
young Republicans president or something like that?
Former.
You don't do that anymore? Are you not young anymore? So
the gray in my beard says I'm not young anymore, man.
Well, I think that's going to be an interesting race. Who all do you have in CD22?
Greg Hill, Judge Greg Hill from Brazoria County, County Court number 1. He's hopping in that race.
Well, resigned to run.
Yeah, but I think he's still going to be on the bench for a few more months.
He's a holdover. I imagine he's a holdover until...
Which they could have done for McLeod at one point because...
They could have done... Yeah, but they appointed... He was a holdover till they appointed him.
Is that Jennifer Farrell lady getting in this race too? The one that resigned from
the CD22.
Yeah, the one that resigned from state rep.
No, she's Jessica Farrar.
Oh, I was like, who? Jennifer Farrar.
No. She just abruptly resigned.
Yeah,
she's
Jessica
been there a
Farrar,
long time.
Yeah, she had.
You don't think she's resigning to run for this?
No, I mean actually, it's kind of really is. It's not the happiest times for her to have to step down or wanted to step down. She's doing the right thing. She has served her district.
Was there a scandal?
No, there's no scandal. Just when you've lost parents and then you see you want to be able to take care of other parents that are still around at this time in your stage in your life. I mean, family comes first, man, and family should always come first before anything else. And so I applaud her for that.
Chris, did you run against her before when you ran?
5 years ago, man. 5 years ago.
You ran against her?
I did. Ran against her.
What kind of candidate was she?
I will say this: she was actually very cordial. I mean, I had no ill will towards her, no ill feelings. I didn't not like her. I disagree with some of her policy and priorities for the district. Yes, pets are important in that district for 148, but I don't think pets were the most important thing for that district.
Is that a Democrat district or a Republican district?
It's a heavy Democrat district, man. So
Republican can't win that.
It could go all sorts of different ways. Depends on who votes.
It just depends on the message you get out there. But if If you go out there with the wrong message, you're not have no shot. But I mean, if it's a smart district too, it's a smart district, very educated people in there, but it's also parts of the district are in the lowest of poverty across the state of Texas. So there's a lot of opportunities in that district. Like I said, I had no ill will against her. I thought she was a very pleasant woman. I had nothing but good conversation when we did talk. It was just we disagreed on policy. But yeah, she will not be running in the congressional race that I know of because it was family issues that forced her to step down. You know who is running as well? Sheriff Troy Nels, former Fort Bend County Sheriff.
Oh, in 22, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a busy race. I don't know that a whole lot of people are gonna raise money. I think a lot of it's gonna be self-funded. Is anybody raising any money? Do you see anything?
There's a couple kickoff events coming up soon. But like I said, man, there's a lot of people in there, and I got the plug on some consultants out there, man. It's some good national firms. Because the local firms are going to be taken up by the people who've been in there for a while.
Let's talk about that for a second. How well of a role do these Austin firms and these national firms play in these local races?
Ask Dan Crenshaw. He got elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a local.
Well, but how he got elected was something.
Yeah, it was more grassroots, though.
Well, who do you think put that plan together? A firm.
Not some firm that never been grassroots.
Yeah. It was a national firm, man. Using national data.
We're going to talk more about local politics here on Eric Dick Show. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Dick Law Firm. Call in 713-212-5950. We're going to be right back.
Think about this for a minute. Solutions, Monday morning at 10. We will live as conservatives and freedom on KTRC 9.
Dick Show. There's a lot of big things been happening out. We've been talking about city politics, been talking about state politics. We're always happy to hear from you. If you do want to call, you can call in at 713-212-5950. 713-212-5950. What do you got on your mind?
Eric, how did the end of Harvey thing go? I know some deadlines coming up. You guys were talking about it. Did the deadlines pass? What happens now to those Harvey victims?
Hold on.
Well, the good
legal advertisement coming up. Is that how you do it?
That's exactly. That's
do you have to do it on radio too?
No, you don't have to do it on radio too. But that's just how that stupid law is. Because people, special interests like insurance companies, they don't want to warn you about their products. They don't want to warn you that that they might take your money and not pay you for stuff that you're entitled to. But they do want to warn you about hiring a lawyer. Very, very, very much. They want to warn you as much as they can, then make it as difficult as they can for you to hire a lawyer. And the reason being is more times than not, I'd say probably about 85, 90% of the time, insurance companies, they think they could just pay you less than what you're entitled to. It's extremely common. Happens all the time.
And they have the coolest commercials. You have to give them that. Those Geico commercials. Yeah, those Geico commercials. They got the one guy with
so
the
does that induce
voice.
you to want to buy their product because it's such a cool commercial?
Absolutely.
See, DTPA.
Well, I mean, why do you think they have
DT? Is that a national firm?
No, man, it's a
deceptive trade practices?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. The reason they're able to do those advertisements and spend that money on those advertisements is because they don't pay their claims. It's so much easier for them just to bribe people to make the laws, less favorable to them, and also just advertise than it is for them to actually pay what people are entitled to. But I'm going to go back to your question. You're asking, do people have any rights left from Hurricane Harvey? They still do.
Still do?
But they're running out quick. They need if they want to still exercise their rights, they can, but not much longer. They can call my office at 833-7-RIGHTS. That's 833-7-RIGHTS. They can also go to my website, dicklawfirm.com. They can ask for a free consultation. The thing is, I take these cases on contingency fee, which is no recovery, no fee. If I lose and I eat the expenses, if I win, then we share in some of the gains. And I'll tell you that it's far and few in between. Whenever I have a case that that there's not the insurance company doesn't pay more. It's pretty rare. They almost always pay more because they almost always underpaid. It's sad. And
that's important to note right there is that insurance companies almost always underpay. Was it 90-something%?
Why would they not want to underpay? I mean, because they rely on misinformation. They just roll the dice. And if the laws start affecting them, they'll just bribe people to change the law.
That's why you need polling places in the jails.
then you'd see advertisements. You'd see advertisements from Geico in the jails. On the TVs they're watching, right? Or maybe
Guys
you'd have
sponsor some better food, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, do we have anybody can call in who's been in jail recently? I have some questions. 713-292-5952.
I think it's 212.
I said who's been
it's 212, not 292.
What did I say?
713-212-5950.
Yeah, if you've been in jail recently and you gotten out, I just have a question on what y'all watching at 11 o'clock a.m. every morning. But carry on.
They're watching the soap. What do you call it?
Young and Restless, right?
No,
Yes.
They're trying not to drop the soap. They don't have time to watch TV.
Watching the soap.
They watching Young and Restless. And I want to make sure they still watching it. Because that used to be the show. And I don't know if it still is.
Young and Restless? The soap opera?
Yeah, man.
No, you can't watch soap operas in jail.
Have somebody call in. Let's get this
soap
confirmed.
operas?
Yes, man. 10 o'clock Price is Right, 11 o'clock Young and Restless. But Dick,
Yes.
are there any
How you
deadlines
this,
that are still out there right now as it relates to
there
Harvey?
are. You have a 2-year deadline from the date that your insurance company told you no or told you they weren't going to pay the claim, which most of them happen September, October. That's why I say you still have a little bit of time left, but might be much more. Don't procrastinate. You procrastinate at your own peril. And it could be. The thing is, we're in hurricane season now, and we might get hit again. No one was expecting Hurricane Harvey to hit, and it hit bad. And the same thing looks like it's going to happen. So a bad storm's going to hit Florida, and we better pray that it doesn't happen again to Houston.
Because we're right in the heat of that hurricane season now. I mean, right in the thick of it. Dorian looks strong. He's going to land us at a 4?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to land as a 4.
Cat 4, work its way up the coast. But, hey, all it takes is one gust of wind, and it goes the other way, and it's going to hop across Florida, go through the Gulf, and hit us again. And so, yeah, man, hurricanes are dangerous. Stay out the hey, but there's a lot of people in Disney right now that are excited about the hurricane because it keeps people away, and so they're able to ride the rides all day long.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, my sister's over there right now. Well, she went over there because they were.
So their house is going to get blown away by the hurricane, but at least they got a no-wait line at the theme park.
They know how to time it perfectly.
Well, guess you got to pick your battles, man. I like that.
The deal with
Some small things in life.
I have another question. Is so what we're talking about Harvey? Whatever happened with the money that the city has for Hurricane Harvey?
Oh, Turner's going to give him $4.6 million now.
Who? Each person?
No, total.
Himself?
Total? Whoa! You said he's only going to get 4.6 million
he's had
out of the
halls.
billions that they had.
He had a town hall. He met with voters and victims of Hurricane Harvey this week and said that $4.6 million coming your way.
Million or billion?
Million with an M.
Because the billion he got, did it just disappear?
Well, that wasn't a part of the presentation, Mr. Eric.
Oh, okay. So even though he got $4 billion, he's going to give away $4.6 million around voting time. Around voting time.
How?
Because it's the right thing to do, Chris.
What do you mean?
Well, it
These
is.
people are victims. They need money.
Hold on. Let me.
Even if it's 2 years later.
Let me clarify my.
It's 90% of it less than what he got.
Let me clarify my frustration. I'm not frustrated they're getting 4.6 million. I'm frustrated that there's only 4.6 million out of the 4.2 billion.
Are you mad that he waited until election time? Is that what you're saying, Chris?
Probably he's going to do it the next.
It's better late
the
than
next
never.
term. He's going to do the next term.
Yeah.
He's not doing it this term. Hey, re-elect me so I can give you that 4.6 million. Come on.
I'm just
Smart. It's a smart political move.
How is that smart? If people know that there's billions, how is millions going to make sense to them?
Well, just like Eric said, with the insurance, sometimes you're just happy to get something.
That's right. You're just happy they figured he was going to blow the whole thing. They figured he was going to steal the whole thing. And the fact that he's not stealing at all.
No, he's going to give you $4.6 million.
Out of the 4.6
That's
billion.
real money, Chris. That's real money.
That's like $20 bills for everybody affected.
Well,
Chris,
but that's
it's $20 that they did not have.
That's right. It's $20 they didn't have.
You ever heard of the saying "glass half full, glass half empty"? Chris,
No, I haven't.
So how much did he give his law partners? I know he
that wasn't a part of the presentation.
More than
Eric.
4.6
It
million.
was not a part of the presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were
I'm
you there
sorry.
for the presentation? Phillip?
No,
Did you
I
ask
didn't-
about that?
I didn't get invited.
You know who would have asked if they were there?
Demetrius Smith.
Tony Busby would have asked.
He would have. He would have said, "Hey, what happened to the rest of the money? You're only going to give out $5 million. I'm giving.
Well,
Turner
here's
the
your
benefit of the
problem
doubt."
with that theory. Here's your problem.
Okay.
They were only taking written questions.
Well, that makes sense.
yeah, only written questions.
Oh, that makes pretty good sense. Why would you take other than written questions when you're only giving out 4.6 million of the $4 billion?
Eric, it's $4.6 million that the residents did not have.
I
They're
understand
still
that.
not going to have it. Good Lord, man.
This whole issue is going to be resolved, Chris.
And I think he's recommending that they not use licensed inspectors and stuff. It's better to go through.
Chuck in the truck.
Hey, just put the money in their pocket. And just remember him on election day.
Or is he gonna?
Is he gonna? Wait, here. I have another question.
He's recommending-
Is he gonna give him the money, while during early voting?
It wasn't a part of the presentation. Eric. It was
And-
not a part of the presentation.
And is he gonna actually have the people pick him up
To go collect their checks.
to collect their check?
Oh, and while you're collecting checks, why don't you go ahead and
at,
vote while you're there?
at the polling location. They collect the checks at the polling location.
It wasn't a part of the presentation.
Okay, I was just wondering. And is the city going to pay for this little endeavor of picking up people, bring them to the polling location to vote, and then go get their check?
I'm highly disturbed by this, man. 4.6. Hold on. This may sound rude, but hey, it's just me.
You're
Are
rude.
people really that dumb
Whoa!
to think
Whoa!
that they are getting their just rights, their just desserts out of this Harvey aftermath with pennies on the dollar of their actual damages?
I think they're happy to just get pennies on the dollar on their damages when they didn't have any pennies before, because he was just going to spend the whole thing.
But it's not
election season, so he's not going to spend the whole thing.
Here's the other thing.
He's just going to spend
But
most of it.
let me clarify, because I want people to dumb on that part, but the dumb enough to think because he's given them what was mandated by the state legislature and the federal government to spend on these people that were affected, are they dumb enough to think, oh my gosh, Turner has given us $20 bills, he's our hero, I need to keep him in office?
Well, here's the other thing. He's asking city council to approve more money
To do another study.
so that they can hire more inspectors to speed up the process.
So are the inspectors his law firm?
Are they named Gadget?
That wasn't a part of the presentation.
Or are the inspectors, are those to be on that list, do they have to contribute to his campaign?
That is a fair question.
That wasn't a part of the presentation.
What other than just saying I'm going to give you some money after November 5th?
Did he say he's going to do it after November 5th, or did he say he's going to do
I'm
it during early voting?
He probably said after November 5th. Everything that happens in the second term, according to Phillip.
Did he say at any time he was going to get the money, or he just said he was going to get the money?
That wasn't a part of the presentation.
Did he say how quickly he was going to get the money?
It wasn't a part of the presentation.
Okay.
So we have fake news, in other words.
Oh.
Well, it
Alleged fake news.
It came from Turner's camp.
Oh, okay.
What do you expect?
Well, anything coming out of Turner's camp could be considered fake news.
I'm just sad about it.
Hey, Phillip, what do you think? What do you think about this as the residential black man? How do you feel about this attack?
The residential black man?
Yeah, man. Like that's the residential white man. I'm residential brown man. You're the residential black man.
Okay.
How do you feel about this fundraising letter that Turner sent out using, I guess, reverse racism, saying that, hey, I'm being attacked, I'm getting these racist attacks against me, more particularly that picture of a dump truck that has Art Acevedo, Turner, Sam Pena, and Mary Benton in the back of the dump truck, and kind of just saying, just throw the trash out this November. Turner using that as race baiting fundraising. What do you think about? How do you feel about that? Do you think that's fair, or is that a little too much, crossing the line?
I mean, I think once you start opening up the door for like personal attacks and stuff like that, I think I think people are going to use that information, to their advantage as much as possible, and so.
Is that an act of desperation?
I wouldn't say it's an act of desperation. I think
just smart campaigning.
It's smart campaigning, but I think on the other side of it, if people who oppose or people who disagree with Turner, they just need to stick to the facts. I think he's done enough stuff policy-wise and procedural-wise as mayor to say, hey, this is what you agree with. So when you start associating people with trash and dumpsters and stuff like that, you kind of give them wiggle room to spin it. If you just say, hey, you misappropriated billions of dollars in relief funds, that's it. You just make them address that. Don't give them a way out.
We'll be back in a little bit to talk about Turner's corruption. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Dick Law Firm. You also go to the website, dicklawfirm.com. We'll be right back in just a few.
And waiting for the future. Stupid stuff that makes no sense. Glenn Beck. Toxic and unfulfilled. 950.
Rushing my 7-year-old to the emergency room. I thought that was traumatic enough. But then we got slapped with a surprise medical bill for more than $10,000. We have insurance. We thought we were covered, but instead, we're being price gouged by greedy insurance companies. And now they're teaming up with government bureaucrats to make things even worse. Doctor shortages, hospital closures, all because of a big insurance scheme called government rate setting. Rate setting may sound good, but in reality, it only serves the big insurance companies already making record profits and will devastate rural emergency care, leaving hardworking Americans
See, what have we learned over all this hodgepodge of stuff we've been talking about, Phillip? What we learn anything?
Yeah, so I'm looking at another report. It says that Turner's trying to get city council to approve $4 million in emergency hiring inspectors. And then they want to transfer $20 million into disaster fund.
Oh, so he wants to give $20 million of the $4 billion
to his friends.
to his friends. Yeah.
But he needs $4 million to do that.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So, let me rephrase that. So he's got to give $4 million to his friends, so he can dole out $20 million to the general public of the $4 billion that he collected.
That sounds right.
Was that in the presentation?
That wasn't a presentation.
That wasn't the presentation.
But did they say he collected $4 billion and you're only getting
That
this?
wasn't a part of the presentation.
Okay. Just making sure. I've been wondering about this the whole time. I've been jumping up and down saying I hope he doesn't win, because there's a large sum of money that's just going to disappear if he stays in office. Like that $4 billion. I think he's doing a magic act. He's got the curtain out in front of it. He's like, let's see if I can make it disappear. And it's going to be like HISD.
Look, on your Facebook page, Eric, first off, Bishop Bryant steps in and says, I support Eric. So
well, that's a very good endorsement.
That's a very good endorsement right there.
Thank you, Bishop.
Secondly, Bob says, and he makes an excellent point, I think Thomas Jefferson said something similar, $1 billion saved is $1 billion earned.
So I guess he saved it by not spending it, or he's
Bob, he didn't save it. He just spent it somewhere else.
That's really
it hasn't been spent, Bob. It hasn't
Bob,
been saved, Bob.
That's wisdom right there,
Bob.
Bob.
It wasn't saved.
That's wisdom, man.
Not
He
yet.
spent
Give him a
it.
minute. Give him a minute. It's gonna be earned.
It's not there to save anymore, man.
Give it a minute. It's gonna be earned.
It's gonna be earned by his friends. They need some money. I think they're having to dole out big money for him to raise, because he's got to give them, what was it, 10 to every one. They give him $4 million. He gives them what, 40? I mean, is that
something like that? I mean, the guy.
It wasn't a part of the presentation.
He's got a creative, man, and he wants to hold on to this seat. I mean, and he's just finding different ways to do it, and he's paying off the people he needs to pay off, man.
It's a cash seat.
It is a cash seat.
I mean, he is a Harvard grad, man. So
that's not cheap.
He's a smart guy. Then
he's a smart guy.
Very very creative. Hey, you know who else is creative is and also running to keep his seat. And I have to say allegedly on this, but again, the source I have is pretty connected to the community over there and understand.
You're not going to talk about Chris Oliver anymore, are you?
No.
Okay.
But over in the District I race, apparently or allegedly, one of the candidates is defacing his own yard signs and 4x8s and all of his signs out there. He's allegedly defacing his own, or having his own people deface it.
Why would he deface his own
and putting
signs?
homophobic slurs on there? Because it's a fundraising thing. When he's like, "Hey, look at me! I'm being attacked for being this subset of a group."
Subset of whoa!
Or what is that? Not a subset?
You just have to say he's gay, and people are attacking him because he's gay.
But I'm not trying to. That's what I'm saying. Allegedly, I was trying to actually protect the candidates, man. But
so he's not gay, or he is gay?
He is.
Is he come out and said he's gay?
Yes.
Okay, so he's proud and gay.
Yeah,
so you can say he's gay.
Okay,
what you can't say is Turner's gay, because Turner hasn't came out and said he was gay.
But you have said he's gay.
I've never said he's gay publicly.
You said it on the radio like an hour and 20 minutes ago.
I said allegedly. I said Bob Lanier said he was gay, and he was found.
You said black men don't have living partners, male living partners.
They don't. They never do.
So
unless they're gay.
Well, allegedly gay, right? Anyway, so thank y'all for tuning in and listening to us. We've appreciated it. This is a show that we have once a week. You can also find out more about us. I know that if you are going through a divorce, there's also a law firm that I would hire. And I'm talking about a nasty divorce. There are just difficulties going through a divorce. I'd call thecarmonafirm.com. And that's a really good firm to go to. whenever you want a sophisticated lawyer that knows, that just knows their way around. If you just want someone that's inexpensive, go get someone that's inexpensive, and you live with the results.
Yeah.
But if you want someone that's experienced in practicing law, has done 6, 7, 8 trials this year, you go to thecarmonafirm.com. You go hire Chris Carmona, an excellent lawyer, excellent divorce lawyer. And also, if you're hungry, you're driving around.
But back on Chris, Eric, we failed to mention you get a discount if you remarry them in like the next 6 months as well.
That's true.
That's true. If I divorce you and then you decide to get remarried, I will officiate your wedding at a discount.
That's key.
That is key. And for that wedding.
Circle of life.
And for that wedding, you get a discount
on catering.
From Phil Paul's Barbecue.
That is true. That's key. Because you got to feed the people at the wedding.
Yeah.
And what better place to feed them with is Phil Paul over in the historical 3314 Lyons Avenue.
No, that's the bookstore.
Oh, that is the bookstore. Where's Phil Paul's?
It's next door at 3206 Lyons Avenue.
3206.
So you go to 3206 Lyons Avenue, historic area town.
Listen, the brisket and waffles is phenomenal. I'm not
really
gonna lie.
is.
I eat it every day.
Every day?
Every day. Some days I switch to sausage and waffles, but our waffles are really good.
People wonder why the African American community has a high level of heart attacks.
It's because of Phil Paul's Barbecue,
Which is it's that phenomenal.
Listen.
It's that good.
And if we elect Chris as a new state rep, he's going to fix the healthcare problem, so it won't be a big deal.
But after you're done at Phil Paul's Barbecue, you go to Phil Paul's Bookstore. It's open until 5 p.m. today?
The bookstore is open until 6:30. The barbecue new hours are from 11 to 5:30 on Saturdays and Sundays.
So you got to go
11
now.
to 4:30 throughout the week.
You need to go now if you want to go. If you're
keep
driving,
running out
you're
of
hungry.
food. Right, we keep running out of food, so we did decide to go ahead and reduce the hours so that people wouldn't try to come there at 8 o'clock to get food, and we ran out at 3 o'clock. So we went ahead and shortened the hours because once you cook enough food for the day, you're done.
Especially with barbecue. Barbecue is not one of those things where like, well, can't you just heat it up on the grill? No, you can't. Barbecue, you actually have to. It's a process.
Yeah,
Slow,
some places out there, no shade. Some places out there, they freeze their food, they freeze the barbecue overnight, and the next day they try to put it back in the oven.
That's horrible.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yours is fresh.
Fresh barbecue every day.
It's from the community. It's for the community. It is the real deal.
Real deal.
It's amazing. Go to Phil Paul Barbecue today. They get a 10% discount?
10% discount if you say Eric Dick.
Oh, wow. So if you like discounts, you just go get your 10% discount over at Phil Paul's Barbecue. And
Tried
you
the
sneak
brisket and
over.
waffles. Yeah.
Brisket and waffles is really good.
Brisket and waffles is really good. I'm getting hungry, boys. You're getting me real hungry. Phil Paul's new and used books. You also go there, 3314 Lyons Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77020. You need to go soon because it closes at 6:30 p.m.
That's right.
And again, as we enter the heart of the hurricane season, and you have bad memories of the last time there was a big storm and the insurance company did not pay what you were owed for the damage that was done to your home, make sure you call Houston's homeowners insurance attorney, Eric Dick at the Dick Law Firm, 1-833-7-RIGHTS. Know your rights. Don't be bullied by the insurance companies. Don't be bullied by people telling you to sign a paper and take what's being offered at the time. Know how much your claim is worth. Make sure you have an attorney in your corner that's going to fight for every dollar that you deserve. And that's Eric Dick over the Dick Law Firm, 1-833-7-RIGHTS.
You can also go to my website, dicklawfirm.com. Is there what's the anything last minute? Because we're about to wrap it up.
Again, it's Labor Day weekend. Make sure you don't drink and drive. There's too many things out there that you can take. Uber, Lyft, taxi cabs, your friend, hop in a car with a stranger as long as you're not going to this different direction.
Okay. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well,
but just don't drive drunk. And if you're, go ahead and actually head out to the AFL-CIO picnic that's going on today.
If you do drive drunk, call Chris Carmona on Tuesday.
TheCarmonaFirm.com. Have a little too much fun Labor Day weekend. It's going to be expensive, but it's worth it at TheCarmonaFirm.com. Thank you, Producer Shannon. Thank you all for a great show. We're going to be back next week. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Dick Law Firm. Go to my website, dicklawfirm.com.
Happy birthday, Nub. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up, put a bow on it. That's all, folks. We're gone. We're signing off. Thank you so much. We're out.